Hello, everyone. We'll get started in just a moment. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. My name is Marielle Brannigan-Jewell, and welcome to Crime Victims' Rights Week. This is the 40th anniversary of Crime Victims' Rights Week, and it is also National Stress Awareness Month. And before I turn it over to our amazing presenters today, I just want to go over a few quick housekeeping notes. I have turned on live transcription, so if you would like the captions, please click live transcript and show subtitles. You're automatically muted and your camera is off. You do not need to worry about that. If you would like your messages in the chat to go to all of us, please change the "to" from all panelists to all panelists and attendees so everyone can see your messages. And if you want to change the view, if you are only seeing me right now as the speaker, in the top right of your screen, there's view, and you can click gallery view if you would like to see everyone who is a panelist on the webinar. So without further ado, before I turn it over to Madison and Lauren, I just wanted to let you all know there are 3 ways to take the survey. I'm going to put the survey link in the end of the event, and then when you take the survey, you can get the certificate. This will also automatically pop up when I end the webinar, and it will also be sent to you directly in the follow-up email from Zoom that you'll get tomorrow. So thank you all so much for being here today, and I will turn it over to Madison Aleg and Lauren McGrath.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. My name is Lauren McGrath. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm so happy to be bringing self-care into the conversation of healing. And I'm just so honored to be partnering with Nova for this session. We have 2 yoga classes coming up this week, and I'm excited to bring the yoga component to you.
Hi, my name is Madison Aleg. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. I just peeked at the chat and it's really exciting to see people from so many places, and I'm grateful to be holding space with all of you. As Lauren mentioned, we'll be hosting 2 classes together. I will be leading you through meditation following each of Lauren's wonderful flows. And today we're really going to be focusing on self-compassion and building resiliency through self-compassion. We are all experiencing great levels of stress on a daily basis. And as advocates, you are all fighting and experiencing higher levels than most people. And for that, we're very grateful. But one of the most beautiful ways to build resiliency is by showing up every single day with just a present awareness and not judgment, and allowing yourself to just take in what is happening in front of you without worrying about the past or the future or anything like that, and simply noticing. And when we're able to do this, we're able to show up with greater wisdom and courage, and to realize the options that we have in front of us in terms of in moments of challenge or obstacles or even pain. Of many kinds. I think we've all experienced a lot of grief in this last year. So when you're able to show up to these moments and acknowledge and notice the options that you have, you are building resiliency rather than feeling like you have to shut down or you are out of control. As we know, this is often when trauma sets in. So through building practices of connecting with your body through yoga and connecting also through the body and the breath and meditation, we are cultivating this resiliency so that we have greater agency when we do face challenge and adversity. So I'm going to start our practice with a poem. I think it's a beautiful way to just notice how the words rest and kind of sit with you throughout the session, and let them be kind of a guide for your intention, and what you're looking to get from this hour together. So I'm going to read this poem and then we're going to move into the flow with Lauren. So this poem is called Saying Yes, and it's by Rosemary Watala Traumer. And could I, like this picture frame, hold any image I was given? I think of the news last night and how I would rather not hold what I saw there. I think of what I learned just yesterday about myself and notice how I would rather push that image away. But could I be like this picture frame that will hold anything and in doing so, honor its importance? Honor everything, no matter how mundane, no matter how frightening, as something worth knowing, something essential to what it means to be alive. A soup can, perhaps, a petunia, or a scream. How easily the frame says yes to the world, takes in anything with no judgment, and offers it whatever beauty it has. How easily the frame says yes to the world, takes it in anything with no judgment, and offers it whatever beauty it has. And now I'll turn it over to Lauren for a nice, beautiful flow.
Thank you for that poem, Madison. I'd like to invite everyone to take a comfortable seat on the floor, and you can place your palms downwards for grounding energy if that's what you need most today, or upwards for receiving energy. And just take a moment to take a conscious breath today. Send your breath deep into your belly. And exhale completely. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And maybe close down the eyes if that feels good for you today. In this stillness, we notice what comes up with the mind. Maybe our mind starts to wander to our to-do list for the day, or I wonder what kind of yoga this is about to be, or a million different ways that our attention gets drawn to different places. But I invite you to just come back to the breath. This is why we have a hand on our heart, a hand on our belly.
Hey,
Tune
Lauren.
into that gentle rise and fall.
Lauren, could you speak up a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. Thank you. So tune into this gentle rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Let the breath come in and out and center you. And we're always going to come back to this breath in this practice. This is our grounding energy. So we draw things in on our inhale, we expand our lungs, expand our capacity to experience this moment. And then on the exhale, we release anything that doesn't serve us, anything that may not belong anymore in this moment. And from here, I invite you to raise your arms up to the sky. Big inhale. Send the fingertips upwards and exhale and release the shoulders away from your ears. Feel your chest and chin open upwards towards the sky. Maybe bring a smile to your face. And with our palms facing upwards, we invite gratitude into this moment. We open up to receive. Palms come together at your heart center. And press your palms into each other. Feel that energy exchange happening as you actively press your palms together. Inhale and bring your sternum to press up and into your thumbs. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're directly above your hips. And this practice will be an exploration. So I invite you to leave judgment or expectation at the door and off your mat. And here we're just going to ground down into our bodies and experience how good it feels to just move around a little bit. Inhale, arms sweep back up to the sky. Exhale and twist over to one side. We're going to twist from the torso. Hands drop down so that opposite hand comes to opposite knee. And then your other hand comes directly behind you if that's available to you today. Inhale into your belly. Feel tall in your seat here. Maintain that connection with the breath. Inhale and twist open through center. Exhale and twist over to the opposite side, letting those hands gently fall down, hand to opposite knee, and then one hand gently behind you on the floor on fingertips. Maybe send your gaze over your back shoulder. On your inhale, come back through center, hands float up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Close the eyes back down. Keep those thumbs pressing into your sternum. Let your shoulders anchor down and away from your ears. Let your heart rest on the back shelf of your rib cage. And feel like a string being pulled from the base of your spine through the crown of your head. And send that crown of your head upwards into space. On your next inhale, drop fingertips down to one side of you and inhale your opposite arm up to the sky. Exhale and start to bow gently over this grounded hand and use this hand to press the floor away from you and press the chest to spiral open towards the sky. Keep both of your cheeks grounded down into the earth, pressing down into the ground. And feel this stretch through your whole side body. Let it feel really delicious. Inhale and rise. Drop the fingertips down. Exhale and take it to the other side. Press that grounded palm into the floor. Spiral the chest open to the ceiling. Press both of your cheeks down into the ground. actively calling in space and being really gentle with our bodies here. Inhale, rise up through center, arms come up. Your gaze goes upwards towards the ceiling. Reach up and exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. We're going to meet in a tabletop position, which means on hands and knees. We're going to make sure our knees are directly hip width apart and beneath our hips. And then hands are shoulder distance apart with your fingertips splayed nice and wide, gripping into the mat beneath you. And we're going to take some really easy circles with our hips. So just choose one direction, clockwise, counterclockwise. And imagine like you are scraping the edges of a bowl with your hips. And bring this movement back to the breath. So try to inhale as you come forward, exhale as you press back, and keep exploring this full range of motion. How wide can your hips go? On your next inhale, change directions. The hips are the place in the body where we store a lot of emotion that we often don't even realize we're holding on to. So when we take time to consciously open up and invite space here, we release anything that no longer needs to be in our systems. Walk the knees wide open on your mat and connect your toes behind you. From here, press the hips backwards towards your heels, and then walk the fingertips forward until your forehead comes to connect with the ground. Let your belly be soft and come back to the breath in this moment. This position is called child's pose, and it's always available to you in this practice as a resting pose. On your inhale, come forward, bring your hands back beneath your shoulders and walk your knees to hip distance apart. We're going to splay our fingertips super wide open on the mat, tuck the back toes under, and then exhale and press your hips up into the sky, press the floor away from you, and start inching your torso back towards your thighs. This is called downward facing dog. Welcome to your first down dog of the day. Shift your weight into one foot and then into the other. We're pedaling out our heels while still pressing the floor away and pressing our chest back towards the thighs. Come to stillness in your downward dog. And on your inhale, shift your weight forward into your hands to a high plank position. Squeeze your booty, squeeze your core. The back of your neck is long. And then with the elbows tucked in close to the body, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck your back toes so the backs of your feet come to connect, the tops of your feet come to connect with the mat. And on your inhale, raise your chin and chest up off the ground. Squeeze the booty. Exhale, wide knees. Send your booty towards your heels, child's pose. Keep crawling those fingertips forward into the mat and gripping down onto the mat. This is an active pose, even though we're resting. On your next inhale, come to a seated position. And we're going to send one leg long on the mat. And bring the other foot in towards your thigh. So from here, ground the hand that's the same side as your bent knee. If that makes sense. We're kind of mirrored, so I don't want to say left or right. So place same hand as your bent knee side. We're going to ground that palm down. And on the inhale, sweep your opposite arm up and press the hips up. Take a little back bend. Exhale and ground the booty down. And with this grounded hand, reach around to your opposite foot. I hope this is making sense. We're going to do this a few times, so no worries. We're going to come back to our starting position. Flex the toes of your lengthened leg. Flex those towards your face. Ground your opposite hand down. Inhale, press the floor away. Lift the hips up to the sky. Feel this deep side body stretch and reach through your fingertips. Keep flexing those toes. Exhale, ground the booty down. Shift your weight around, and with that grounded hand, reach all the way over to your flexed toes and come back to neutral. We're going to take this one more time, actually, since we've walked through it a few times. Go at your own pace. Ground your hand down. Inhale and sweep the arm up. Reach through this full, delicious side body stretch. Exhale, ground the booty down. Come around with that opposite hand and reach towards your toes. And if you can't reach your toes today, no worries. This is your yoga practice, only for you. Go ahead and switch your leg position. Sending your opposite leg long onto the mat. Bring this bent knee, this foot to connect with your inner thigh. Take the hand on that same side and place it on the ground. Flex the toes of your long leg towards your face. Press into the ground. Inhale, press the hips up to the sky. Sweep the arm open. Feel a deep side body stretch. Exhale, ground the booty down. Shift your weight around. Opposite hand to come and connect with this long leg, this foot that's long on your mat. Come back to neutral. Ground this hand down. Inhale and sweep. Press the hips up into space. Exhale, ground down. Reach around, opposite hand to opposite foot. And at your own pace, inhale, sweep upwards. Exhale, ground down. Reach around. And inhale, come back through center. Bring the soles of your feet to connect in front of you. So it can look like a diamond shape like this. Your feet can be super inwards like this. Maybe your knees are closer to the ground than mine are today. Whatever works for you. Whatever is comfortable. Hold on to your ankles and walk your feet slightly in towards you. And with this grip on your feet, on your shins, on your ankles, wherever feels good to reach onto, pull your chest through. So use that grip to anchor you and just pull your chest a little bit open over these feet. Take a few little flutters with the knees. And then start to round your spine down, and we're just gonna fold really gently over these open thighs. Keep your belly drawing back towards your spine. And then ride the inhale upwards to come back to a tall seat. Come back to your tabletop position, hands and knees. Tuck the back toes under and lift the heels up to the sky. Shift your weight backwards, press your chest back to your thighs. Inhale and sweep your right leg up to the sky, creating a long line here. Point the toe. Exhale and step this foot to the outside of your right hand. Drop the back knees down, untuck the toes. Take your right hand that's closest to this knee right here, place it on your knee. And we're just softly gonna open up the hips, take a couple of rocks, back and forth, maybe some circles. Ground your hand back down onto the ground. And then shift your weight backwards, flex your front foot, and sit your hips backwards into space. As you keep flexing this front foot, you're gonna feel a nice stretch down your hamstrings, down the back of this whole right leg. Inhale and bring it forward. Take the hand to the knee, open up the hip. Tuck your back toes under, lift that knee, and then place your right foot back into downward facing dog. Keep those feet at hip distance apart and keep pressing those thighs back and pressing your chest back towards your thighs. I'm sorry. Inhale and sweep your left leg up to the sky. You got this. Point the toes. Exhale and step to the outside of your left hand. Untuck the back toes. Round the back knee down. Then take your left hand, bring it to your knee, and start to create some circles with your hips. Opening up, getting into that juicy hip socket. Exhale and send the hips backwards into space. Inhale, walk them forward. Take the hand to your knee and open up the hips once again. Ground both of your hands down. Untuck the back toes and lift the knee up. And then lift the hips so that you can step backwards into your downward facing dog. On the inhale, walk your feet forward. Step, step, step. Take as many as you need. Inhale and rise all the way up. Hands and arms up to the sky. Deep inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And as gracefully as possible, make your way down onto your back. Take your knees, hug them in towards your chest, and take a little rock, side to side, side to side. Take some circles with the knees. And again, come back to that focus on your inhales, focus on your exhales, and letting your movement align with the breath. Take your two peace fingers and hook them onto your big toe, or if that's not available to you, you can just grab onto your ankles. We're gonna flex our feet towards the ceiling and just rock side to side. This is called Happy Baby. And take a few rocks side to side. I'm sorry for the background noise if you can hear it. But that's life, right? It tries to distract us in a million ways from what's really important here. So stay with me. Stay with that breath. Squeeze the knees in towards you for one last time. Lift your head up off the ground. Squeeze everything. Squeeze your ankles, thighs, your face. And exhale and release everything down onto the mat. For Shavasana, I invite you to either lay on your back. You can place your palms facing upwards on the ground or on your belly and your heart. That feels good. If this is not feeling nice on your lower back, I invite you to take a pillow or some sort of prop and place it under the back of your knees. That's going to provide some relief to your low back if Shavasana is not feeling nice for you to lay on your back. Or before I turn it over to Madison, you can also take this Shavasana and meditation portion in a comfortable seated position. So yogi's choice, I leave it up to you and what's best for you today. And I turn it over to Madison whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Lauren. I hope everyone's body is feeling a little invigorated, noticing a little bit more spaciousness within us. And as Lauren said, you are welcome to have this practice seated or laying down, whatever feels right for you in this moment. I tried to encourage you to take a position that invites in relaxation and ease, yet awareness. We would rather not fall asleep, but if that's what happens, then that's what your body needed in this moment, and that's beautiful. So if you feel comfortable beginning to shut down the eyes, and if you would rather keep your eyes open, that's also okay. I encourage you to have a soft gaze, maybe a few feet in front of you. Let's really tune into the breath for 3 or 4 cycles, breathing in deeply through the nose, and also exhaling through the nose. Two more deep breaths. And now beginning to draw your awareness to the space around your eyes, noticing if you can soften your eyes and your temples, perhaps inviting soft smile to the corners of your eyes. We're all becoming experts at smizing in the world of masks. Just noticing if anything shifts for you as you do so. Relaxing now through the forehead, your cheeks and your jaw. Maybe you want to wiggle your jaw from side to side. Make sure you're not clenching. Bringing your awareness now to your tongue, resting on the bottom palate, feeling the root of your tongue all the way to the tip of your tongue. Noticing all of these sensations of awareness within your mouth, your teeth, and your gums. And now perhaps inviting in a soft smile to the corners of your mouth. Science has proven that when we have a soft smile, it sends signals to our nervous system that we are safe, we are grounded, and that we can relax and be at ease. Noticing if anything shifts for you, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it stays exactly the same, and that's okay. Simply being aware. Relaxing down into our neck and our throat. Perhaps noticing the sensations of breath as we fill the throat with our in-breath. Maybe the breath feels cool, warm, smooth, or not. Scanning down to our shoulders, really resting here for a minute. We hold so much stress and tension in our shoulders. Maybe you need to roll your shoulders up and back down your spine. And if any tension or tightness, pain, discomfort arises in your shoulders, just allow that to float there in awareness for a breath. And now let that discomfort dissolve as if from ice to water and water to gas, floating away. Now bringing your awareness to your heart space. Feeling the ribs expand left to right with each deep in-breath. And contracting with each exhalation. Now relaxing down your spine, inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae. Perhaps you notice yourself sit upright just a little bit more, or laying down and expanding just a touch, as if someone is pulling a string of pearls from the top of your head, just gently noticing. Now feeling the length and volume of your arms. Slowly scanning until you reach your hands. Resting in awareness in your hands. Noticing any sensations of aliveness. Perhaps there's tingling. Maybe your hands are cold or warm, dry, maybe a little sweaty. Simply noticing and practicing our intentional awareness. Now returning to the base of our spine and our tailbone. Feeling the points of connection between you, maybe the floor or the pillow, the yoga mat, couch, maybe in bed, wherever you may be. Just noticing these points of contact where you are supported and held. Bringing your awareness to our entire pelvic area. Really allowing the belly to fully relax. As Lauren mentioned, we hold a lot of trauma and emotions in our hips. So really allowing things to release and let go with each breath. Now moving down our legs, feeling the weight and volume of our legs, moving from our hips to our knees. Our knees to our ankles, before we arrive at our feet. Resting our attention in the sensations within our feet, relaxing through the balls of our feet, the arches of our feet, and our heels. Feeling the spaciousness between the bottoms of our feet and the tops of our feet. Feeling the volume of all of our toes. So scanning out to the whole body in this beautiful, present, alive awareness. In the forefront, all of the different sensations, and in the background, an open, present, accepting awareness, taking in everything moment by moment, breath by breath. And when your mind wanders, because that's what minds do, that's okay. Your mind can wander over and over and over again. That is perfectly normal. But it's about how you return back to the breath. Returning back to the breath with kindness and compassion for yourself. Saying, it's okay, you were distracted for a moment. Allowing yourself to be curious of where you went. Honor that and then return back either to my voice or just to your breath, knowing that your breath is always available for you to return home to. And also noticing if you're beginning to feel a little uncomfortable seated or laying down for so long. That's okay. Noticing where this tension, discomfort, or pain arises. And reminding yourself that meditation does not mean perfect stillness. Mindfulness in Chinese means a kind heart. So be kind with yourself and make any adjustments that you need. Now that we are all present in this embodied awareness, I'm going to take us through a self-compassion exercise. And the beauty of this practice is you can incorporate it into a formal practice like we're doing today, or it's something you can walk yourself through in 2 minutes, anytime, wherever you may be, anytime you need just a moment of self-compassion for yourself. So I'm going to ask you to recall a moment of stress or challenge, something that you notice triggered an activation within your body. This doesn't need to be the 10 out of 10 activation. It can just be something small, or it could be something that was really big. Whatever comes to you in the moment, don't have to think too hard. Allowing yourself to stay in that moment and that feeling for just a breath or two. When you notice that you're feeling this stress or emotional discomfort, see if you can now find the discomfort in your body. Where do you feel it most? Maybe it's your shoulders. Maybe you're clenching your jaw. There's tightness in your abdomen. Simply noticing and allowing yourself to make contact and awareness with these sensations within the body. And now say to yourself slowly, either out loud or in your head, this is a moment of suffering. That's simple. Just acknowledging what you're feeling. Maybe you want to say like, ouch, or this really hurts, or this is stressful, or I am incredibly sad. Whatever it may be, acknowledging your feelings, both how you feel emotionally and the felt sensations within your body. And now kindly saying to yourself again, either in your mind's eye or out loud, suffering is a part of life. Reminding ourselves that this is a part of humanity, but that you are not alone. There are others suffering, maybe not just like you, but in a similar capacity in this moment. Reminding yourself that we all struggle in our lives. Simply acknowledging that this is how it feels when we are in pain, when we are stressed, perhaps when we are suffering. Feeling the common humanity of all of the people on this Zoom call. Over 500 people, all holding space together, reminding ourselves that we are not alone. And now I invite you to place a hand over your heart space and maybe over your belly, or two hands on your heart, or maybe you just keep your hands exactly where they are. Whatever feels good for you in this moment, whatever feels soothing, allowing yourself to notice this feeling of warmth and gentleness in the touch of your hands. And now say to yourself, again out loud or in your mind's eye, may I be kind to myself. May I give myself what I need. Allowing yourself to share with yourself any words that you need, any comfort. This may include, may I accept myself as I am. May I shower myself with love and self-compassion. May I forgive myself. May I be strong. May I be patient. May I live in love. Thinking back to the poem that we started our practice together with. May you look at the picture frame that is yourself and notice all of the beauty that it presents. And if you're experiencing difficulty finding the right words to say to yourself, just trust me, sometimes it's really hard. Imagine that you're talking to a really dear friend or a loved one who is having the same problems that you are. What would you say to this person? If you were to share just a few words with this person, what would those words be? What message would you like to deliver from your heart to theirs? Now see if you can gently give this message to yourself. How allowing yourself to expand outward in your awareness. Once again, returning to the alive sensations within our bodies. Perhaps scanning and releasing any points of tension that might have arrived. Simply noticing if anything has shifted and changed since before we started this practice. And once again, maybe it's exactly the same, and that's okay. Simply being aware. Now I invite you to bring your hands together in a prayer position, feeling your thumbs pressed against your sternum and your heart center. Ask you to take 3 or 4 deep, juicy breaths in the nose and out of the nose. Each breath out, letting go, letting go, letting go. With each in-breath, breathing in kindness, self-compassion. One more. Returning back to your normal pace of breath. Rising your hands to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. I want to honor and thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your lives to hold space together, to be compassionate and loving for ourselves, to prioritize our health and well-being. And Lord, and I express so much gratitude for all of the work and advocacy that you do day in and day out to make our society a more just, equitable, and trauma-aware space. Namaste. May all beings know peace can begin to flutter your hands down and open your eyes when you're ready, taking in any little movements that you need just to awaken the body back to the present. And thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Madison Aleg, with my dear friend Lauren McGrath, who flowed us through an amazing yoga session. And now we're going to turn it back to Marielle from Nova, who's going to give us our last little housekeeping and remind you that you can sign up for our second part of this series on Thursday at the same time. So thank you so much. Back to you, Marielle.
Madison and Lauren, thank you so much for setting off our week with an incredible hour for ourselves. And thank you all for being here. I just put in the chat, I'll put it again, the survey link, which will lead you to a certificate. It'll also pop up automatically once I close the event. And it will also be included in the follow-up email that you'll receive from Zoom tomorrow. You'll get also a link directly to the certificate. So if you have any issues downloading it, you will get it tomorrow. And I've also included, I'll put it again, it's the link to register for Thursday's event, part 2, Ground and Release with Madison and Lauren. And also the link to other events that we have going on this week. We have a webinar starting in an hour. For Madison and Lauren, I did have a question pop up. Do either of you have a YouTube channel that people can follow, or how could people follow you? Because there is the question in the survey for if you want to be added to their list of virtual events. You can do that in the survey, but is there another way that people can reach you?
Yes, and thank you so much for asking. So we are both on Instagram. I can drop our handles down here in the chat. My yoga business is named Miha Wellness, so I'll just go ahead and add mine, and Madison's is Sweet Mysteries _ That's it. And yeah, we would love to add you to our mailing list for virtual classes that we host. One of the gifts of this pandemic era is being able to all connect over Zoom and not be constricted to physical locations. We would love to have you join. I host virtual yoga classes every Sunday, and also private one-on-ones, lots of different things. So I would love to have you join in and stay informed.
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, my Instagram handle is _sweet mysteries. I also lead a weekly practice that is free on Sunday evenings with the Nolaverse, which is a women-owned wellness platform that prioritizes creating healing spaces for BIPOC communities. So you can find both of us there. And as Marielle said, you can sign up by taking the survey. So thank you all so much, and can't wait to hold space with you all again on Thursday. Drink lots of water, be kind to yourself, and transition slowly into your next webinar or whatever you have planned for the rest of your day.
Thank you both so much again. Thank you everyone for being here, and I hope to see you all on Thursday back here again at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.